Good morning. It is Thursday, April 15th, 2021, and back here for Bed Talk 277. And can you guess what we're talking about today? Elephants, specifically elephants in the room. Some call them gorillas in the room. Whatever it is, that topic that's been avoided. And so often we'll say, we've got this, that's the elephant in the room. But here's a truth about elephants in the room. None of them ever start off as elephants. In fact, they usually start out as a small little issue. Imagine on the conference room table, there's a little bit of friction, typically people friction, or a trust friction, or a trust break, or communication friction, or communication break, or some lack of awareness or responsibility for an impact. It's a little thing, it's an irritation. It's almost not noticeable. But here's the thing, the people who are involved in it, for a lot of their own reasons, aren't addressing it. But what happens is no one else in the room is addressing it either. Everybody else keeps walking by. First of all, they don't notice it, they notice it, and then they start judging it. That's that thing in the little center of the table. Everybody walks by and judges it and starts saying, oh my God, why isn't somebody dealing with that? And then we start to judge the people involved. Why aren't they dealing with that? Why are they leaving this alone? And what happens is it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It starts to look uglier and uglier, and often it starts to smell. Imagine it's sort of like an infection, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger. And the avoidance continues to grow, the judgments continue to grow, the anger and frustration amongst the team, amongst everybody, so much finger pointing going on, especially at whoever the so-called positional leader is. Why aren't they dealing with it? And what no one starts to realize is, hey, we've got to deal with this early, right in the beginning. Whatever that looks like, we're going to deal with it as soon as we sense the friction, starting with the people involved. Because when it's early on, it's pretty easy to deal with. And let's face it, rarely do we have interpersonal challenges with another person that start horrible. No, there's a buildup, but we don't address the buildup. We don't speak our truth. We don't ask questions. We're not vulnerable and honest with each other on either side. And then it becomes a so-called team issue, and then the team ignores it. And what I want to offer to you is two things. One, elephants don't start as elephants. They grow from tiny little frictions into potentially culture shifting, team destroying, even toxic challenges and situations. Number two is all that pointing is an absence of leadership. When you're waiting or pointing at someone else to address it, yes, we can all take responsibility to address our own issues, but when we're not, someone on the team or multiple people on the team need to step up. That is what leadership is. It's not about who's got the label of leadership. It's their job. It's everybody's responsibility to look out for each other, to look out for the team, look out for the culture, to look out for trust, and to minimize the elephants and get them when they're just a tiny little friction. So pay attention to that the next time you see that little thing that's off in the center of the room, and be the courageous one, the bold one, the vulnerable one who speaks up first, because that's what leaders do. Keep taking care of yourself and everyone around you, and by all means, stay connected.